The knowledge whale returneth swimming through the sea of knowledge. Ooh! Here are 50 amazing facts to blow your mind. Roman Emperor Caligula would torment his senators by making them run in front of his chariot for miles. He also was so hairy that he made it a capital offense to mention goats in his presence. In the Netherlands, they have a tradition called dropping, where they leave their children in the woods at night and they have to find their way back home. In a 2014 report, it was found that the mortality rate for professional wrestlers was significantly higher than that of athletes in other sports. The USS Samuel B. Roberts is the deepest shipwreck in the world. It lies in 6,895 meters or 22,621 feet of water. Prince died due to an overdose caused by counterfeit opioid pills containing fentanyl. An aircraft like a Boeing 747 burns approximately 4 liters or 0.9 gallons of fuel every single second while in flight. Aretha Franklin's handwritten will was found in a spiral notebook wedged between couch cushions months after she died, but a court ruled it was valid. Glass fiber dresses were a fad for a few years in the 1890s, and the New York Times even predicted that they'd be more popular. During World War II, the Germans planned to assassinate Winston Churchill with an exploding chocolate bar, but the plot was uncovered by British spies. Mariah Carey once threw herself a Mariah Carey themed party. In 2016, she invited 50 people from her touring crew and friends and made them dress up in their favorite Mariah looks inspired by her songs and videos, with Mariah hair, poses, and her signature style. Narcissist, oh my goodness, I got a cough. Major orange juice producers add chemical fragrances called flavor packs to their juice to provide the signature taste of their brand. This is because OJ loses its flavor during pasteurization and deoxygenation. The Great Oxidation Event was a single type of oxygen-producing bacteria that became responsible for terraforming Earth from largely oxygen-free to the Earth that we know today. This gave rise to oxygen-based life and caused a mass extinction of anaerobic life forms, wiping out about 80% of them. Mentos saw a chemistry teacher create a soda geyser several feet high by dropping Mentos into Diet Coke on The Late Show. They devised a consumer misuse campaign encouraging user-generated videos and signing content creators to create a trend that achieved a 20% sales spike. Hole Watcher is an actual job title. Their job is to ensure the safety of people working in holes or other confined spaces and to make sure they're safe by ensuring proper ventilation and rescue them if they happen to get stuck, hurt, or pass out from lack of oxygen. The reason most South and Southeast Asian writing symbols are curved and rounded is that they were easier to inscribe into palm leaves. The oldest surviving documents written in Sanskrit, dated 2 millennia old, were written on palm leaves. Your fingernails grow about 1 nanometer per second, so in a few seconds, it grows roughly the length of the smallest features in a modern 3 nanometer CPU. Legendary music producers Pharrell and Timbaland are cousins. A US supercomputer labeled as needs repair with 8,000 Intel Xeon CPUs and 300 terabytes of RAM was won via auction by a winning bid of $480,000 in April of 2024. Malaysia has a deputy king who fills in when the actual king is not available. Glass sponges can live as long as 15,000 years. This means that the oldest living glass sponges were around before any human built any permanent structure on Earth. The 1956 Battle of Palmdale was an effort by the US Air Force to destroy an out-of-control target drone. 2 jets fired 208 rockets at the propeller-driven drone. Every single one missed the target and started fires that burned 1,000 acres, damaged homes, and destroyed a pickup truck. Redbad, the last pagan king of Frisia, which is modern-day northern Netherlands, refused to convert to Christianity, choosing to spend eternity in hell with his ancestors rather than in heaven with beggars. The Medallion Fund is a secretive hedge fund that consistently outperformed the market with an average annual return of 62% over the last 30 years. Reverse Polish notation is a different style of writing math equations. 3 plus 4 is instead written as 3 4 plus. One pro is that it removes the need for an order of operations. The youngest person to summit Mount Everest was just 13 years old, while the oldest person to summit it was 80 years old. The song Chocolate Salty Balls from the show South Park reached #1 on the UK singles chart in 1998 and even beat the song Goodbye by the Spice Girls. So got my chocolate salty balls, put them in your mouth and suck them. That's a classic. There were vacuum cleaners before electricity was common. They were manually pumped while vacuuming. There's a man known as the Mountain Man that spent 22 years carving a 110-meter path through a mountain using just a hammer and chisel. He was motivated by grief after his wife died due to a long route to the hospital, so he shortened the journey from 55 kilometers to 15. In 1973, Scotland and Wales rugby teams refused to play in Ireland due to a risk of violence. England, however, traveled to Dublin and lost. The England captain later said, "We might not be any good, but at least we turned up." A honeymoon used to be a bridal tour where the couple can visit relatives who weren't able to attend the wedding. After his death, it was revealed that Stan Lee, the famous Marvel Comics writer, suffered elder abuse from various handlers and family members who alienated him from other parts of his family and fired his accountants, lawyers, and caretakers that had been with him for decades. Alcohol isn't allowed on the International Space Station. It's not banned purely for intoxication or health risks, though. It's banned because alcohol is a volatile compound which can damage the ISS water filtration system. NASA also bans mouthwash, aftershave, and perfumes for the same reason. During the last months of World War II, the Germans, British, and Americans agreed to a limited ceasefire to allow the Allies to airdrop food to starving Dutch civilians. The character Frieza from Dragon Ball Z, known for his ruthless destruction of planets to profit from their resale, was inspired by the behavior of real estate speculators during Japan's economic bubble in the 1980s. Terry Fox ran the equivalent of 128 marathons in just 143 days in an attempt to run across Canada to raise funds for cancer research, all despite having lost a leg to cancer. His Marathon of Hope led to the annual Terry Fox Run, which continues to support cancer research globally. Until early 2024, it was legal for apartments in Austin, Texas to have no windows, and that landlords often didn't disclose this in advertisements. It would take approximately 18 months to walk the Great Wall of China. The NCAA was originally founded to protect college athletes from the brutality of early college football. In 1904 alone, there were 159 serious injuries and 18 deaths on the field. The steam engine, the wind turbine, and the vending machine were invented 2,000 years ago by a Greek engineer named Hero. Key West declared independence from the United States in 1982, then declared war, then immediately surrendered to apply for foreign aid after being frustrated by the lack of response from the US government to complaints about a roadblock. Metabolism in adulthood does not slow down until the age of 60. Juliane de Fontervrault, the illegitimate daughter of King Henry I of England, tried to kill him with a crossbow after he permitted the blinding of her daughters, his grandchildren, who were hostages at the time. There's a mummified forest of redwood trees on a Canadian island in the high Arctic, close to the North Pole. Some of the trees were up to 140 feet tall and grew during a warm period in the Earth's history, despite 3 full months of darkness each year. When Rocky won the Oscar for Best Picture and Best Director, Sylvester Stallone didn't win any Oscars for it, even though he wrote it and starred in it. Snoopy was originally going to be named Sniffy, but Charles Schulz changed it at the last minute after seeing a comic with the same name. He chose Snoopy, a name his mother had suggested for their next family dog. The Tomb of Jesus Christ is a site in Japan where they claim Jesus was really buried. This is complete with a burial site, Hebrew plaque, and an accompanying origin story, complete with Jesus using a body double explaining his journey to death in Japan. Of the 10 most watched YouTube videos, 5 are children's videos and 5 are pop song videos. Of the top 30 YouTube videos, only 1 is not a children's or pop song video. It's actually a Hindu devotional song about the celibate deity called Hanuman. Arnold Schwarzenegger still owns his suit that he wore during the filming of Batman and Robin. He pays $1 to Warner Brothers every year to keep it. 71-year-old Bernard Gore was supposed to meet his wife and daughter at the mall in Sydney after first doing a little shopping himself. Instead, he exited a mall door leading to a stairwell labyrinth and was found unalive 3 weeks later, failing to find his way out. The landmark pamphlet, Understanding AIDS, was the single largest mass mailing in American history. Spearheaded by Surgeon General C. Everett Koop, it reached 107 million American households and set standards for sex education regarding the disease. 80% of people read at least a part of it. Hey, thank you guys for watching, and if you enjoyed this, please leave a like and a comment on it. Also, you can watch more by clicking either of the links on screen right now, and consider becoming a channel member. You get exclusive access to new videos 24 hours in advance, as well as exclusive content just for members. The link for that is in the description along with all of my socials. I'll see you guys next video.